What is God and who created God? So these are very common questions which comes to everybody's mind, but sometimes some very religious people, they don't want to think about it because like they feel that I should not have a question about my God because they think that God is something different, powerful, and might punish you if you have any doubt about his existence or about him being the creator of this whole universe and the mankind. We think it logically about that what is God. There are people who don't believe in God at all. There are people who believe that God is something which is you yourself is God. Like the Hindus, they say that you yourself are the gods. There are people who believe in a different kind of God. If different people have different gods, how come that the people with other faiths or the people who don't believe in any God, they're still living happily? Those people who don't believe in that kind of thing, those who are called atheists nowadays, but they live very happily and they just live for their full, span of life, like 70, 80, 100 years. They live happily throughout their life. Now the question comes, who created God? So if I say that we created, the humans, they created God, what do you think about that? How it affects your thought process? If I say that humans, they created God, are you jolted with this? Just hearing this? Instead, the people used to say that God created the humans. But I would say that no, humans, they created the God. How do you digest that? So to digest that and to justify my say, we'll discuss it in some simpler examples and references. So kindly have a patience listening to this video. Namaste friends. Once again, I'm back after a few days on the channel. Eternal natural values. Actually, we used to talk about the nature of things available around us, and why do we need to know about the nature, about the eternal things? Because eternity always prevails. Particularly, we need to know eternity or the eternal values to know about the eternal means the truth, which prevails. As I said, which prevails. So the truth always prevails. We need to know about the truth because in the modern world, in today's world, of course, humans, they have evolved through like so many millions of years. So from the primitive ones who used to live like animals in the caves and like in the open without any society, without any bonding to each other. So they used to live like animals, other animals. What we assume, what we feel, because we think since when we started knowing about the written or the documented evidences about the human life or human civilizations. So we generally we perceive that that's when the humans they started. The human they like cropped up. They just came down on earth and started like living the way we are living today. In the societies, in the villages, in the towns, in the cities. I'm thinking about all these things in the light of eternal values, in the light of eternity. And I wish that everyone think about, these eternal things, and everyone should contemplate, should apprehend the world in the light of eternity. So the rest is definitely going to be perished. I have attained a sense of applying my own mind, like how the things would have happened, how humans would have evolved through, my little literary knowledge about the history of the humans, about the world, about this whole existence of the whole planet and the universe a little bit. One way or other, you are being influenced by the things around you. Affected by the things around you. So you cannot remain isolated from, because if you are living here in this world, so you need to be interact with all the things surrounding you, all the things around you in your society, in your village, in your city, in your country, and in your world. So you need to be interactive with this. That's it's not by choice, but it's by compulsion, you can say, to understand the worldly things in an earlier, like there are certain words like the rational, the logical in the Western world, that is the English language. Anything which is happening is good for me, maybe not good for the others, maybe bad for others. So I will say that it's logical, but the other person who is affected by it badly, he will say that it's wrong, it's not good, it's not logical. So that's why we need to understand, we need to know the eternity, the eternal values. And when we know eternity means we are able to distinguish between the eternal values and the other ones. And eternal means the two, which remains there forever, and everybody wants to be with those values. There, your logic, your rationality, that doesn't stand anywhere in front of eternal values. So once we know the meaning of eternal values, we all will be the two humans, two to humanity, two to this planet, two to this universe, two to the God. And with that, the question arises, what is God? So God has different meanings. It's the perception nowadays that, because the Western world, of course, particularly where the English is the most influencing language, they feel that the God is one which is very, very, very powerful, very, very big, sitting somewhere outside the universe, and is ruling the universe, and is controlling everything from there. But that is what now we will talk about what the dictionary meaning of God is. So here I have opened this page. The dictionary meaning: in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and the ruler of the universe and the source of all moral authority, the supreme being, is called God. For now, we need to understand the meaning of like the God. The God is the controlling authority. Okay, so in like Abrahamic religions, like the Christianity, monotheistic religions, Christianity, and then there are many more, but Christianity and Islam are the major ones. Who believe in one superpower, one super being, who is sitting above in the skies and is controlling everything. So that's God. No, in Indian context or the Hindu context, Sanatani context, that's not the God. Hindus, Sanatanis, they don't believe in any such kind of God. You're very super being, a powerful person sitting outside. They say it is within us, within every human being, within everything. In fact, every single little thing, God is there. They have different names, different meanings for God. One of the very common one is Bhagwan. So what Bhagwan's meaning here in dictionary, it is a guru or revered person, often as a proper name or form of the address. So Bhagwan, hamari madad kare. May God help us. So it's generally translated that way. May God help us. Bhagwan, hamari raksha kare. Another meaning we talk about is Paramatma. So Paramatma is also called as Paramatman in Sanskrit. So it's, again, the meaning is supreme self. It's not exact meaning, but it's from Wikipedia. What they like, it's not in dictionary. There is no meaning for this word. So from Wikipedia, it means the supreme self. Again, what self means? Me, you, yourself, everyone, every being, every single element, every single atom, every single molecule. That's Paramatman, supreme self. If we talk about ocean, you take a little water out of it. So now you take that water in a glass or in a bottle. So that water in your glass, but that water actually is a part of that ocean. Same way, everything on this earth, in this universe, what Hindus they believe is a part of that Paramatma. So that water which you are having in your glass is the water, and the water in the sea is again the water. It's the same. But that is there in your hands and that is outside, like in front of you with the ocean. But it's the same. So that way, everything is Paramatma. So in various philosophies such as Vedanta, so they named it as Paramatma. They didn't say that it's something that is sitting outside. Even if it is there, that is also a part of Paramatma. The monotheistic religions, if they consider some God to be seated there in the universe, is Paramatma. Is God. But according to Hindus, that is not the God. That is a part of Paramatma, and that is a part of us. We all are part of that. He is also part of that. So everyone is part of that. Everyone is Paramatma. And then we come to another meaning. In Hinduism, Ishwar is also, in general terms, we compare it with God. Again, Ishwar, Supreme God, the powerful Supreme God. But what Wikipedia says, Ishwar can mean Supreme Self. So in ancient text of Hindu philosophy, depending on the context, Ishwar can mean Supreme Self. Not that Supreme Self, because everyone is Ishwar, everyone is Paramatma. But who is above all, filled with all the eternal values in him or her, is God or Goddess or Paramatma, Bhagwan in Hinduism. So it could be anyone. It could be any one of that. So now we'll come to the conclusion that what God is and who created God. What in fact the people they think about God depends upon their belief system, a religious belief system. If people they belong to Abrahamic faith system, like Christians or Muslims and some others are there, who believe in only one God, they will say that it's a powerful being, sitting outside the universe. So that's God. And then what Hindus think about God, they don't think that it is something, someone who is sitting outside the universe, but they feel that everyone is a part of God and everything together forms God. So now the question comes, who created God? So if someone is sitting outside the universe, is a big, powerful person, who created him? That could be the question. And that could be the logical question, actually, in terms of the Western language. The logical question was, who created him? Who created that God? Some a bigger God than that. But how Hindus could answer that question in simple terms, that no such big or very, very big person is a God. Everything is a God. So no one created nothing. It's just the energy. And there are many, in uh, Vedas and in many texts, Hindu texts, ancient Hindu texts, they mention that nothing like one entity who is a supreme being. It in fact is a form of energy which presents itself in different forms. And Einstein's theory says it very well, that E is equal to mc square. E is energy, is equal to m means mass, and c is the speed of light and all that in science. Means E, E, that is energy, is equal to mass. Whatever mass is there, that has energy, or whatever energy is there, that has mass. Both are equal. Both are convertible, interconvertible. So that way Hindus have, I think to some extent, see, you can't exactly say that like what Einstein was thinking and where he got this idea from, like E is equal to mc square. But generally, it is said he was inspired by many ancient Hindu texts. The difference only is the difference of nomenclature. So you say it energy. Hindus say it Shakti. That has come after understanding the meaning of God, that where the God has come from. So if we say that it's something, some supreme power, supreme being sitting outside in the universe, this God, very big and powerful person. So then we say, who created it? There should be some creator of that big and powerful person. There should be some creator of that. So the proper answer to that is, which Hindus actually thought about it thousands of years back, and they answer it. They say that there's no one sitting outside, and if it is there, which is affecting our lives, which is affecting our earth, is also a part of my supreme self, is also a part of everything around the universe, around that big supreme God who is sitting there in the universe. So everything around him is also a part of him. And when we talk about everything around him, means we are also around him, that powerful person which has been named as God in the Abrahamic religions, is a part of us. So that way it has been answered very well. And if I would say that logically, yes, logically I feel the same, that it should be. If we talk about this thing, it's just like when we didn't have much knowledge about the things, and the humans, they were not very literate, particularly Western world. So when that's just sort of like in general terms, we feel that, like, yes, God should be something which is very big. We should be very big. We should be very powerful, because such kind of thing is not here on this earth, so it should be somewhere else in the universe. So that's a very normal and way of thinking. But when we try to find out the questions arising out of that who is the creator of that super being who is sitting outside, who is the creator of that powerful being, powerful God, we would say that another one who is sitting farther behind, then we would say, who is the creator of that? So that question will never have any answer. But this way, Hindus could find an answer, and they named it very well. What is Bhagwan, what is Paramatma, and what is Ishwar? It's yourself, it's your supreme self. So basically, God is created by the humans. Now, I would answer in simple words. Who created God? I would say that humans, they created God. It's not that God created humans. It's the other way around. Humans, they created God just out of this head on top of our shoulders, this brain. Only reason is that God has not created God, but we have created God. Humans have created God. So the God cannot be different. It cannot be different for different people. Humans are the humans. They are the same throughout the world. If anybody who is rich, who is poor, is actually made by the same forces. Whatever that force, you name it, like even you name it God. But when all the humans are the same everywhere on this planet, any animal, like you talk about tiger. So the tiger in India is same as in Africa, as in Europe, as in America, if it is there. So it is the same throughout the world. An apple tree in India, an apple tree in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Japan, in Russia, everywhere, it is the same. So how is it possible that God for a segment of people is different and the God of other segment of people is different? It cannot be. So the answer to this, that who created God, is we created God. The humans, they created God. They created their own gods. You will understand it very easily after the discussion that yes, we created God. The humans of one particular geographical location, because ancient times there were no communication with the rest of the world. So what was thought about is that our God is different, and the people who were sitting at other corner of the world, I mean not the corner but like other side of the world, they thought yes, that kind of force is our God. So those two different gods, I mean I'm just citing an example. The two group of people, one sitting on this side of the earth, they had their own God, and the other segment of people who were sitting on the other side of the earth, they just contemplated God like in their own way. So both have their own different gods. When they tried to intermingle, when later on the technology, communication, and the transportation, the means of transportation, they evolved, and we could travel around the world from this particular one side of the earth, and the people who were on one side of the world who were having a different kind of God, they traveled to the other part of the world where their God was different. Then what happened? Conflict. But conflict of what? Conflict of faith, belief. No eternal values were assessed. No logical brains were applied. But just said that no, this is my God and that is your God. So is it possible if we apply a logical brain, logical mind, and we give in front of our self the eternal values, the eternity, what could be the possible answer to this conflict? If the humans are same, how could the God be different? No, it cannot be. It has to be the same because it is different for different people. So means what? Means who created God? We created God. The people, the humans, they created God. One segment created their own God, the others they created their own God. And I think now the humans, they need to think about it, about their gods. Thanks for giving your valuable time to understand the God and the creator of God. So please like the video, share it, just comment in the comment section. Anything you feel like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Namaste.